Well, thank you for joining us on TVC News at 10. This edition features our Sunday specials. We'll start off with security matters in Sokoto State as the acting chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, charged troops in Sokoto State to take charge and combat all threats to peace and security in the region. On his first operational visit after his appointment, Lieutenant General Oluyede, the acting army chief, addressed troops in Tangaza, one of the local government areas where the new terror group is operating in the state. He also stressed the need for residents to cooperate with security officials as the work to ensure there is no security breach in the country.
What are the challenges? Now, the issue is how do we react to those challenges? So one of the reasons why I'm here is to charge up my soldiers to brace up to challenge, and that we shall do. My charge to the community people is for them to support us, because the fact is that Nigeria Army belongs to all Nigerians. And if we don't get their support, we can't succeed. And if we don't succeed, that means Nigeria itself will not be secured. And we need Nigeria to be secured so that we can have economic prosperity.
And joining me for more on the security development in the country is security expert Darlington Umoro. It's good to have you join us on TVC News at 10.
My pleasure being here once again.
Well, let me ask, what's your current assessment of the threat level being posed by this new terrorist group, and how does it compare with existing, or should I say decimated groups like Boko Haram or ISWAP?
Well, it's a new development. Particularly when it is linked to the problems in Niger Republic and Mali. It's a new group, and like the military have said, they are doing everything to monitor the activity of that group. The Northwest is known to have suffered so much, particularly from the hands of bandits, which has to do with kidnapping and the collection of ransom. Unlike the Northeast, where we have pure terrorism, where you have ISWAP and Boko Haram. But, of course, you know that both Kebbi particularly has a border with Niger Republic and I think the Republic of Benin. It's also between Zamfara State, Niger State, and Sokoto State. From what actually happened, the people of that area actually noticed when they first came in, but refused to actually report the situation to security agencies until the issue of taxes came up, when they started imposing levies on the locals and then trying to take away their animals and asking them to pay ransom before those animals would be released. Of course, you know the history of what just happened. It was a reprisal of the people themselves who were in pursuit of this new terrorist group. Well, terrorist group, have they been really declared terrorist group yet? That is another kettle of fish. It was in the course of them trying to recover their cattle that were being rustled away by this new group that resulted into this exchange of fire that had two of the terrorist men fell, and then about 15 men of the locals, broke down.
So we have seen, of course, the new that's the acting chief of army staff, go to Kebbi State just to ensure that he is able to address this issue. But if you take a look at the strategy being employed by the military, that's particularly to this new threat, since their mode of oppression, it's a bit different from what we've seen in the Northeast. What would you say? Would you say it's... we know that 3 days ago they had announced that there's a new terrorist group in Kebbi and Sokoto State, operating in Kebbi and Sokoto State. But for you, would you say that the tactics that they're employing now differ from what the military has been using before now?
No. Their tactics is more It's more of the existing tactics of those we loosely refer to as bandits that have existed more on the northwest and a little bit of the north central. So the military is used to it, and the military apparently would have a way of, well, it's a continuation of some of the things they have done. Of course, you are aware of late how much of the area power has been deployed to bring down the activities of these bandits and terrorists. The Nigerian Air Force has recorded lots of achievements in that regard. This is a small group, apparently as a result of the fall of the joint border cooperation, or well, joint border task force that existed between Nigeria and those other countries that shares border with her, that have left ECOWAS now, that are now on their own. But when it was under ECOWAS, you are aware that Nigeria shared, had men in the joint border team of both countries, trying to monitor those borders. But now that Nigeria has pulled out, of course, you know what to expect, particularly with the collapsed borders point in some of these northern parts of the country. But nothing to worry about. The Nigerian military is up to the task. They are aware, and whatever these ones are not like ISWAP and Boko Haram. They are more or less, they operate like the bandits. They are after money specifically, and not necessarily for the destruction of life, which would come peradventure when there's resistance. They are likely located in Sokoto, not in Kebbi. But of course, Sokoto and Kebbi share a common border. Just like Kebbi shares another border with a part of Zamfara and Niger State. So the Nigerian military is aware, they know what to do, and I think they are doing that. That's why the new COAS has assured the people of that region about what the military is set to do. I think they have quickly gone to work. Drawings have been made, monitoring have been made. Technology will also be deployed to monitor the movement of these people, come to impose levies on these persons and try to run through their animals, and then use it to demand for levies. And then where there are issues, I think now that the military is aware and is deployed to those, they begin to monitor and then take care of this new group.
Of course, security expert Darlington Omoro, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. We'll definitely bring you back for other analysis. Hopefully this situation is laid to rest.
Yes, my pleasure, but the people must continue to give information to the military so that the military will be able to act proactively, and not necessarily when havocs have been committed before they begin to speak. They didn't speak on time in Kebbi State.
Thank you so much, sir.